What's popping around? My name is coming back at you with another video. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to all of you guys who are new to the channel. I'm teaching about Shopify, dropshipping and e-commerce in general, teaching you how you can go ahead and move away from a 9-to-5 job into being your own entrepreneur and being your own boss and having your own business. So remember to hit the subscribe button down below if you want to know a lot more about that. Moving into the topic for today, we are going to talk about pros and cons about Instagram influencers and how you can leverage Instagram influencers to build up your business and get your store off the ground. Remember to watch the full video to know all my tips and tricks about Instagram influencers, how do you go ahead and target the right way with them, and how you can go ahead and leverage them and use them for your Facebook advertisement. So let's move into the video. So Instagram influence is super powerful to use, especially when starting off with your dropshipping journey. So pros and cons about it, if we're going to talk about some pros of it, to start off with, pros about Instagram influence is really that you can go ahead and get a lot of people and a lot of attention to your brand and to your store really quickly compared to Facebook advertisement. The good thing about influencers is that you can really quickly, I wouldn't say easy, of course, most of you guys might have had some problems with influencers, had a lot of problems with influencers in the beginning, getting scammed. That's a lot of a problem that I've heard a lot of people have having. I've never been scammed myself, luckily enough. You see a lot of Instagram influencers having fake followers, so in that way you can say you've been scammed. I felt that I've got scammed sometimes because I've got shit results with some of the shoutouts that I've made. Got like 0 sales and paid maybe like 60 bucks for it, so that really sucked as hell. But you learn from your mistakes as well, so it's in the beginning it's gonna be like something that you just need to learn, and you learn by trial and error. Of course you can watch a lot of YouTube videos about it. Got a YouTube video about how you go and find Instagram influencers that are profitable, showing some different tools and tips and tricks, how I search for them, how I make my research, and how that I choose between the many different influencers which would be in your given niche. Let's say you're in the pet niche, you're having a cat product, maybe like a kitty toy, something like that. You can then go ahead and find a lot of different cat influencers which are like posting cat pictures or kitten pictures or like sort of like cute pictures of cats in general, but there would be a lot of different pages which does that. And how do you actually go ahead and choose the specific one that you want to go with? I have a video about that, link in the description down below. It's really informative and you will probably learn a lot about it. It's sort of like just some tips and tricks that I'm using when I'm choosing the right Instagram influencers. But more about the pros about influence. So the good thing about influencers is that you can go ahead maybe on a 200k influencer, go ahead and make a shout out, and all the data that you get from there, all the visits will then be data for your Facebook pixel. So moving from Instagram influencer over to Facebook advertisement is a lot easier when you get all this data from the influencers. That will also be a lot easier for you to target when you're doing the Facebook advertisement, because you've built up all this data. Let's say you got a paw ring, you do a shout out on a dog Instagram influencers, you maybe get like 500 visits on that page. You can then go onto your Facebook advertisement, make a lookalike audience, and then go ahead and target those 1% maybe in the United States that looks the most as though those people who were onto your store. And this way you're narrowing down the audience, and then you can sort of like flex target your lookalike audience as well. That's something I'm doing a lot, flex targeting the lookalike audience, so you're actually narrowing down the lookalike audience which has already been made. So let's say you have a lookalike audience of 2.1 million, you can then narrow that down with sort of like different interests. You of course want to maybe have dog lovers or people who are buying products on a regular basis from dog companies. That works great as well, because then they're into buying stuff which are dog related. Another good thing about influencers is that you can actually get a really good ROI with them, because maybe you make a shout out of 50 bucks and sometimes you can actually make like $1,000 profit from it. It depends a lot about the product, of course, so there's a lot of different parameters and factors that goes into play when you talk about the profit margins and how well your influencer post will be. But it could be really profitable to make an influencer ad, and the great thing about the influencer is, as I talked about before, you can move on to Facebook advertisement. But if you want to test out a product, it's a lot easier to go on to an influencer, make a shout out first, get the data, make the lookalike audience, and then move to Facebook advertisements, because then the likelihood of you getting good results on Facebook is a lot higher compared to if you just jump straight onto Facebook advertisements straight off the bat. Especially in the beginning when you're trying to move your store off the ground, doing Instagram influencers has a huge potential for you. Really important thing to move into and look into. If you have tried a lot of with Facebook advertisement and got not that great results, try a bit of like with influencers to try to build up that data for your pixel before going into Facebook advertisement. Some cons about Instagram influencer would be that I see a lot of influencers doing scams at the moment, because a lot of influencers are buying fake followers or fake likes or fake comments. So you're getting this fake picture of a good engagement, or they have a lot of followers, so you go ahead and want a shout out on there. So they're just making huge profits from you wanting to make shout outs on their page, though they might have just bought 100k followers for I don't even know how much that costs. You shouldn't be doing that, not on your own Instagram, because that will fuck up your Facebook pixel. Don't ever buy followers for your Instagram account, for your Facebook page or anything. Don't do that. That's really stupid, because that will fuck up your pixel on Facebook and it will just get so much bad data which you can't use to anything. So really don't do that. But that's a really problem with the Instagram influencer, because it can be hard for new dropshippers to go ahead and actually know if it's a fake Instagram account or not. There's a lot of different YouTube videos about that. I actually don't have one yet. Might be doing that because it's a huge problem. I feel it's a huge problem if you don't know how to sort of like scout away for them or don't choose them. So maybe watch my video how do you go ahead and choose the right Instagram influencer. That might work for you as well. Link in the description down below. But it's really important that you go ahead and look at the engagement rate, the followers compared to the amount of likes. So just an example for that, let's say that the page has 500,000 followers, but a post or a picture or a video only maybe get like 2,000 likes, 1,000 likes, or maybe like 200 or 300 likes. If that's like the engagement rate, then the likelihood of the page having fake followers is really huge. So you can say yourself, let's say you're maybe trying to make an influencer post, make a shout out on an influencer with 500k followers, and they might be giving you for a cheap price, maybe 20 bucks or something like that. You think this is good value for money, but those money won't give you anything, because the traffic will first of all be bad traffic to your store. They won't convert at all if you're getting any traffic at all, or the post won't get any engagement at all because it's fake followers, and fake followers are not active on Instagram. So in that way, that's a huge problem, I think, with Instagram influencers compared to Facebook advertisement. You can sort of like target a lot better on Facebook ads compared to Instagram influencer. But Instagram influencers is a bit cheaper to start off with and get the data for your Facebook advertisement. So it's a great way of moving from Instagram to Facebook advertisement and get the data, make the lookalike audience, and then move on to Facebook. So there's both pros and cons about using influencer. Another problem with influencer, if you're basing your store primarily on Instagram influence, is that it's hard to keep track of it. Some days you might make 8,000, one day you might make 500, some day you might make 0. Seen a lot of posts in Facebook groups where they're like, their revenue goes like this, and that's that's often when they're doing Instagram shoutouts, because the days that they don't have any shoutouts, you don't really make that revenue. Otherwise, if some people might go on to your store organically or from emails, or that's some other stuff. But to keep making shoutouts, you really need to keep track of all the influencers and write to them, and you wanna then maybe have a VA to do that for you. But it's a lot easier to have consistent sales on Facebook compared to Instagram when doing shoutouts, because you really need to be a lot more active with these shoutouts compared to just doing Facebook advertisement, because that just runs on itself. So that was just some pros and cons about Instagram influencer. It's a great way to get your store off the ground, build up data for your pixel on Facebook advertisement, and then move over to Facebook advertisement, because in this way you can make lookalike audiences based on the data that you've gotten from your influencer post. So it's a great way, and it's great. It's also a great way to build your brand for your store, for your products. Influencer has a huge potential if you're doing with some personal influencers, like it's like personalities instead of just pages. So Instagram has a huge potential for the influencer and stuff like that, and you should still be doing it because it's a great way of building up followers on your Instagram, but there are still some pros and cons about it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got some tips and tricks out of it. Please leave a comment down below if you have any problems with Instagram, or let me know the #1 thing you want to know about influencers that you're having problems with. Remember to hit the like and the notification bell to always be up to date with all of my videos. Hit the subscribe button so you're part of the drop shipping family. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a successful and wonderful day. Bye.